Here's a truth bomb. Most REI SIFT users are sitting on money they don't even know is there. Why? Because their leads are just sitting there, untouched, dead in the water. I built an AI agent that scrapes, tracks, and calls leads better than any VA could. And it does it all on autopilot. No reminders, no button clicking, no, did my VA actually do that? It just works. It just happens. Now, full disclosure, my platform, REI Unlock, already does all of this stuff natively. That's why it is the best CRM for investors. But I know a lot of y'all are still using REI SIFT, and it's a great platform. And so I decided to show a little love. I built this crazy AI automation that allows your REI SIFT to do what you wish it could do, which is call people automatically while you're at appointments and tee up leads, track them, all that stuff without having any off days or sick days. It logs into your system, it runs your filters, scrapes everybody in that filter, and then reaches out over the phone however you want with whatever script you want, and then tracks the outcome and alerts you if you get a new lead. It doesn't get more streamlined than that, right? Here is the real pain point, especially if you're using REI SIFT the traditional way. You're spending hours every week filtering and exporting lists. Then someone has to call the leads manually, usually you or a VA if you have one. And then someone has to update all the statuses and notes in the system, push them to the next stage. And let's just be honest, it sometimes is usually half done, forgotten, or you get distracted by something else. And then what happens? Deals fall through the cracks, follow-ups are inconsistent, and instead of focusing on closings, you're literally babysitting busy work. I get it, like we've all been there, but I've worked with enough investors to know that's the number one killer of deal flow. It's not your market, it's not motivation, it's literally the cracks in your follow-up system. If you have a leaky bucket, all your money is literally flowing out of it. You can't keep anything inside. So instead of like telling you guys why it's broken and all the things that you need to fix, let me actually show you a system that I built for a friend of mine that solves all of these problems. Now this runs 24/7, and I'm even gonna break down all of the moving parts of how this AI agent was built so you can actually see how the bot works behind the curtain. All right guys, so I'm gonna get a little technical for a little bit, but this is just for my builders. If you're not, you can skip forward a few seconds to where I get to building this or actually showing you how it works. But I do wanna show this so y'all can see, how we use different pieces of technology and craft them into a bigger solution for your business. Now here's the big deal. With REI Unlock, you can do all of this natively, but for systems like REI SIFT, there's certain limitations we have. So we actually built part of this agent in a virtual desktop through Microsoft Azure. That means it's always on, it's living in the cloud, it's working whether I'm at the gym, closing a deal, on a Zoom call, it doesn't matter, it's on, even if I'm asleep. And on that virtual desktop, I have these little technical things called UI vision macros. It's basically a fancy word for these code robots that take actions that I told them to take whenever I want them to. These bots literally log into REI SIFT just like a person would. They filter and scrape records based on your preferences and your follow-up and outreach process. And instead of leaving those leads to rot or waiting till you have time to actually call them, it sends them to a Google Sheet, but we could use any database we want really. After that, we use some fancy Zapier workflows tied in with REI SIFT, and then the actual REI Unlock AI caller platform to reach out to these leads. Once they're called, again, the outcomes are tracked in a Zapier workflow that reports to our KPI tracker and into REI SIFT. So I'm not gonna waste any more time talking about this. Let me jump in and actually show you guys what this looks like in real time. I do have to blur some of the data out for my client's privacy, and so, any ne'er-do-wells don't go and try to steal any of his leads. You're still gonna get a view into what this actually looks like. And if you have any more questions or wanna see a deeper look into how this would work in your actual company, just go ahead and book a call with me in the link below. All right, y'all, Azure from Microsoft, this virtual desktop allows this thing to run 24/7. No laptop open, no team member forgetting to hit run. It just operates in the background. All right, so that allows this to run 24/7 from anywhere without you having to open up anything. Okay, super easy. All right, awesome. The next thing we have is the UI Vision macros. These macros handle the dirty work. It's basically fancy code robots that log into your REI SIFT, apply the filters, you care about, maybe high equity, maybe last touched, maybe haven't called yet, called once, scrapes those records. That's like having a little robot assistant click through your dashboard nonstop 24/7. We even created a little robot manager that manages all three of the other robots. So you can see here it's taking up to 28 actions for this specific macro, including logging in. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it in a second here so you can see what it actually looks like when it's running, logging into the dashboards and all of that good stuff. So y'all can see it's actually running, and this is what it looks like on screen. It's logging into REI SIFT with whatever credentials we want. We could assign it its own user, and then it gets into the dashboard and it starts going to work. It handles all the dirty work. You can see right here, it's already gone to our records. It's applying the filters for us, just making this process super simple, doing the work a human would do 24/7, right? I'm not saying fire all your people, but this can allow them to focus on higher tasks, actually talking to the motivated leads, pushing those ones forward, higher value, money-making tasks, increase the revenue for everybody, okay? Now, after that, all that scraped data goes right into a live Google Sheet. Think of it as like a central brain of this operation. Every record is fresh, every filter is applied, and everything is clean, sorted, and tracked right in here for us to see. You don't have to use Google Sheets. You could use something like Airtable as well, but this was the easiest thing to do for our client and their business. All right, so you can see it grabs everything about them, the address, and then scrapes every single phone number for their record. So we make sure to reach out to every number that they have in REI SIFT, right? So we get everything there. And I gotta blur some of this out, y'all, obviously for privacy reasons. That is literally everything tracked right there, central brain. All right, y'all, from there, Zapier takes the baton. So anytime a new record is added to that sheet, Zapier triggers and sends it straight to my AI calling platform. Okay, you can see I'm walking through some of the workflows, showing you what it's doing. We use a couple of webhooks, fancy word for like internet text messages, right? It allows stuff to communicate. So you can see it right there, sending it into the Google Sheet and then to my AI calling platform. And that's where things get really interesting. And I'll get to that in just a second, but you can also see in this workflow, not only is it reaching out to the lead, it's also cleaning up the data it's pulling from SIFT, organizing it, and putting it in a format that the AI can read the best and perform the best without you touching anything, all right? And then the next essential part that ties all of this together are the status updates and KPIs. Once the call is actually finished with our AI callers, our AI agents, which you will see in a second, it comes here to be sorted based on who it talked to, if it connected, if it was the wrong number, if someone said, do not ever call me again, all that stuff, the AI agent can pick up here and determine what happens, even if they send a voicemail. And you can see we send that information right back over to SIFT, but not only that, we store it in a KPI tracker inside of Google Sheets. And again, we'll use any platform you like and even create you a dashboard to view all your KPIs, custom for your business. And so you can see here, the AI is recognizing everything that could possibly happen on a call, even if it talked to not the main person it was trying to reach, but even kin. So if it talked to someone's cousin, sister, brother, it will identify that and sort it and notify the team accordingly, even sending you a text message letting you know you got a new lead in or an appointment booked. All right, so it captures literally everything, tracks it, and sorts it for you on a granular level. And we can get as detailed as you need, but you can see here, this is everything this client needs. It's calling every number. It's telling you if it was the main person we were reaching out to or relative. Makes it super easy, so you don't know just who you called, you know what happened in real time. Now, this is a sneak peek into our AI calling dashboard. You can see we have the agents here, a couple of different agents for this client. There's so many that we can put in here. We have multiple campaigns. You can track your KPIs. And the cool thing about this, we have tons of preloaded voices for you to choose from. You can even clone your own voice. We have tons of AI models, and a ton of customization that goes into this. So we make the bot actually sound like you and your business and sound real. Can even do a transfer warn where it tells you exactly what happened in the call. We even put background noise. For this caller, we use just the call center, but you see we have a bunch of other options here, and we can completely train it on how it tells us what happened in the call. Here's a brief preview into some of our post-call analysis tags that tells the bot in Zapier and REI SIFT exactly what happened. So that's what we did for my guy here to set up his system this way, and we can do the same thing for you. I almost forgot to show y'all this workflow, but this is what actually receives the KPIs and sorts them based on what campaign. So you can see everything we do here is at a very high level, and we even give his team this complete SOP on how everything loads, so he doesn't have to train his team on anything. Great, y'all. Let me know if you have any questions on this part of the video. Here's why this matters. No more hours wasted filtering your lists in your REI SIFT. No more wondering if your team actually followed through and called the people they were supposed to call, tracked everything, updated statuses, none of that. No more stale data just sitting there waiting for when you have time to actually reach out. Every single lead gets touched, every status gets updated, and your dashboards finally show what's real, not what you think is real. When investors and business owners talk about scaling, this is the type of thing that separates the dabblers from the people who are actually going to succeed and do it. I like to call them the pros, because the pros automate the grind, and they only step in when there's an actual deal to close. That's what you should be doing. And this is what a system like this can help you do. Now again, if you are on REI Unlock already, automations like this are already baked in. There's no need to set up a macro or a virtual desktop. But since a lot of people are using REI SIFT in other systems, I wanted to show some love and show that it's possible to get the same results even if your CRM isn't doing the heavy lifting for you. We can build automations and AI agents like this to actually achieve that level with the systems you already have. And we can integrate it so it's not like it's a huge outside thing. It's actually baked into the processes you're already performing day in and day out. So here's what I want you to do. If you're running REI SIFT and you want this set up for yourself, drop a comment below or reach out to me directly. Me and my team will make sure we get this implemented custom for your business and your flow. We'll literally get the AI to sound just like it were you or one of your team members on the phone. And we'll make the tracking custom so that you can have complete access to it. And if you're ready to step up to a CRM or system that already has this level of AI and automation baked right in with so many more capabilities, that's exactly why I created REI Unlock. Either way, the truth is this: you don't need more lists, you don't need more tools or more VAs. You need to dial in your current systems, plug those leaky holes in your business, and you need your systems to actually work for you. And that's exactly what I build. So if you like content like this, you want to see more videos like this where I break down how we build different systems for real estate investors and other types of small businesses, drop a like, subscribe, so we know that you're interested in this content. Appreciate y'all. Catch y'all on the next one. Let's go.